Hi guys! So isn't it crazy that Tiangi wrote today, let's start? You guys knew I wanted to open my channel. My new German tarot channel, BTS, Tarot Smeraldo, BTS Deutsch. And isn't it crazy that he wrote let's start it or something? Like with starting, I mean, hello, this is crazy. I love those synchronicities. It's just crazy. And if you haven't checked out in the comment section, I did a channeling of him for my @dailybigte account. So please go there and check this out. I also posted it on YouTube, guys. So I want to talk a little bit about divination in general, because I'm very happy that everything went so well and everything is going crazy good on this channel, and I'm loving it, guys. I haven't expected it, so thank you very much to all of you. Without you, there would be no Tarot Smeraldo BTS, no Tarot Smeraldo BTS Deutsch, not all of my Twitter handles. Without you guys, Purple Lights, and without the boys, there would be nothing like this. So I'm very, very grateful. I'm very, very happy, guys. And let's continue to strive. Let's continue to heal together. So, as I told you, I also want to open up on Patreon where we all can learn tarot. But I need to charge for that. I'm doing all these things for free, and I'm spending like all of my free time. It's going, like for all these free things I'm offering. And I also need, as in the universe, there needs to be like a give and take. I cannot just put out stuff for free. Then it's not good. In the universe there must be a give and take. So I want to use my Patreon for people that really want to give back, for an energy exchange, so, and in order to not ask you for donating, I thought, why not, teaching you stuff also. So I think this is a good idea. I teach you divination tools, tarot, and all the other stuff is I want to start with tarot, but if it's working good, we can also learn the other divination tools. I explained this today. And if you guys are interested, please go to my Patreon and sign up for that. I'm going to do videos like this. So this is the first reading I'm doing, and I want to explain everything about divination tools, and I think this is very interesting. That's why I want to do it as a free video, so you guys can watch this and you guys can decide if it's something that interests you. And if this interests you, please come to my Patreon, sign up for this. And I think it's also very good if you guys can learn yourself how to read tarot, because then you can also do your own tarot. This is very important, I think, because I also do my own tarot. And it's like, some things a reader cannot just tell you. Like, well, of course, the universe won't tell me if I marry such and such, they won't tell no one. But you can find out more stuff that a reader, like a strange reader, like a stranger, cannot tell you, So I think this is very important. That's why I want to do this. And to start off this as a free reading, I thought out of maybe explaining a little bit, so all of you can learn a little bit about tarot and all the divination tools, because I think that is a thing that everyone should know. And I also think that it is very important because where can you learn something about those things? I think it's very important. I wish that they would teach us this in school, but maybe one day you get taught divination tools in school, so everyone who wants to use it can use it, because if you are a light worker, if you are pure at heart, you can only your energy gets drawn to light beings, not dark beings. And so there is nothing wrong about tarot, so I hope I am one of those people that can help others find also their way back to tarot. because tarot has not a good reputation, and I don't know why this is. I don't know why this is so misunderstood, and I think it's because it's not taught enough, you know. Before I awakened, I have not known anything about divination tools, nothing. If someone had told me this, I would have thought, well, yeah, right, you know, how should I talk to the universe? You know, I would have thought, okay, you need to be awakened, I think. But if it would be taught to other people before they awaken, maybe then they heard something of that, or maybe they awaken earlier in life. I don't know. I wish I would have awakened earlier in life, you know. I could have worked much more earlier in my life on myself, you know. But oh well. It's all divine timing, so we have to accept it. But I want to teach you guys, because you are awakened too. You are on my channel, so you guys are awakened, so I want to teach you. What else I want to say? Yeah, please come to my Patreon if you want to learn with me. I always do videos. They last for 1 hour, and you pay per view. Like if you buy the video and then you watch it. And I think you can watch it multiple times. I have to check this on Patreon. I have not uploaded anything there, you know. I'm not familiar with that. I have to check this out. And, you know, this is also learning by doing. I mean, before I came to YouTube, I didn't even know how YouTube functioned. And I'm still learning about YouTube. That's why I'm also doing my German channel, to learn how it is when you are stationed in that country where you do the readings for, how this works, you know. So it's all about learning. It's all about finding out stuff in life, and I love that. So let's start this stuff here. So first I want to talk, you know, you see all these cards on my channel, and you probably wonder, what are all those cards? And let's start just by talking a little bit about the different divination tools. I'm using a mixture of all of them, you know, because I'm loving all of them. I'm talking through all of them with the universe. I think all of them are charming in their own way. So let's start with the oracle cards. The oracle cards are numbered. They go from, you know, you see here card 3, 23, and oracle cards are just, they have a theme, you know. This is between worlds. You've seen these cards, you know. This is the wisdom of the oracle deck. Peace, poise, like they have different meanings, you know, and each oracle deck has different numbers, you know. Sometimes there are 60 cards, sometimes 100, sometimes only 20. It depends, you know. And oracle cards always give a meaning to the reading. Like if I want to say, well, you know, you've seen me using this for the topic. What is the topic of the reading? I could also use tarot cards for that, but you know, I think those are very specific. That's why I like to combine the oracle cards with everything. There are readers on YouTube that only use oracle cards. They have like different oracle card decks, you know, and they don't use tarot at all, or the other divination tools, they only use oracle decks, you know. So those can be used for topics of readings, and I use them as a topic, and I also use the different other divination tools with that. And you don't need any specific like learning about oracle decks, because everything is said, and there is always a booklet with it. So if they want to describe Never-Ending Story, they write something about it, so everyone can use those oracle cards. Like if you want to buy yourself oracle cards, you know, you don't need to know any knowledge. You don't need to study anything, because the topic is here, and you know, you can draw for yourself 3 cards. You know, let's do this. Let's do an oracle card reading here. So let's see if Big Tay is here. Big Tay, is there anything you want to tell us? Let's give me 3 oracle cards. Okay, so he's with us, you know. Breathing means for me, he's speaking to us in meditation. His soul is. Clean it up. And loyal heart, see? That means twin flame. That means I'm with you. Everything is fine. And, well, clean it up could mean, let's start, you know. Actually, it's let's start. Clean up the old energies, you know. Start something new. So, you know, we're already doing this. So basically that's what it's saying. And you can do those things for yourself. You don't need to have any knowledge. Okay? So you don't usually study oracle cards. You can just buy them. There are like 100,000 oracle cards that you can buy, you know, and I'm using a lot of them. I have like, I don't know, 200 of them. I don't know. I have a lot of them because I love them as a signifier of the readings, you know. I think that's very cool. Okay, let's move on. Then we have the Kipper deck. The Kipper deck is a German thing. I don't know when it was. Like, Kipper decks usually have very old pictures on them. Like I've seen like Kipper decks that have a variety of pictures of the 1900s, you know, 1899, 1900s, and I think they used it in Germany. They are also, like, they have numbers. You see this here? And in the Kipper, the meanings are always the same. Like, this is the rich, good gentleman. And usually you can use them very good for people. Because the Kipper is usually for understanding what kind of people there are. You know, we have the rich, good gentleman here. So I use them as signifier when I really want to know what's going on. What's the situation? The living room means living room. It could also mean sex. It has different meanings though, you know. This is what you need to study though. Kipper you need to read and it has the same meaning, you know. But like if you use Kipper, like the living room means living room and your own soul, like your body having sex, you know, because it's the living room. I always wondered why the living room card means sex. Then we have house, at home, you know, something like that. The Kipper deck is a little bit similar like the Lenormand one, but it has more cards than the Lenormand. And they are always small. Kipper decks are usually in this size or a little bit bigger, like the playing cards, like in this size and maybe in this size, but not bigger. The cards, like oracle cards, they are usually very big, like this size and bigger. You've seen sized cards like oracle cards, like, right? And the Kipper ones, those are usually very small. What else we have? Change, receiving a gift. So those are very specific cards. You can really divine or use divination as what happens next. So Kipper cards were used in Germany on, you know, when you, on these fairs, when they were sitting in those, like, they didn't use tarot cards, I don't think. They used Kipper and Lenormand. In, you know, in the 18th, 19th century, where those, how do you call them, witches? I don't know. Those people that are always you know, guys make fun of. I made fun of them. I thought they were faking everything, you know, when I was not awakened. When you go to a fair and, you know, they have these balls here where you can look through and, you know, and they like try to tell your future. And I mean, you cannot really tell the future of someone. It's not possible because energy is changeable. And of course they made stuff up, you know, maybe they saw, okay, the living room, let's see, if I have the theft, so someone is stealing. Where's my living room? I want to use that sex card. I want to use that sex card. Where do I have it? So we have main person here, main person, and the living room. So if I have the thief, the main person, and the living room, you know, and I'm like one of those people, and you have to have it dramatic in those, you know, at those fairs where those witches were with their balls, divination balls, I don't know how to call them, crystal divination bowls. And they were saying, well, there is a guy coming into your life. He's rich because he looks rich. And he has a parrot. He probably sings with a bear. And he has sex with you and then he leaves. You know, so it's a one-night stand. You know what I mean? They probably made it sound like this, and that's why it, you know, people thought maybe something like that happened, and they thought, oh my gosh, it's true, you know. But sometimes they're over dramatic things, because this is, sometimes it happens. Like I already did this for myself. I really like foresaw my future like a week before. Like a week before with Kipper, I put down cards and Lenormand and it came true. But there are like so many different meanings, you know. I could also say with the guy in the living room and the thief that your guy has sex with someone else, so his living room is stolen away from you. You know what I mean? There are different ways to interpret it, and to find the right interpretation, it is a, you know, you have to know the person very much. So it's like if you use it for yourself, it's much easier, because, you know, I know if, you know, when I meet someone, or I know if I'm single, so I don't know if I would say, I would know myself, like I would never go with a guy and have sex. So if someone would tell me, well, there's a guy, you meet him and then you have a one night stand, he goes away, I know that would be BS, because I'm not doing stuff like that, you know. But yeah. You know, if you know yourself, it is easier to use those divination tools on yourself, because then you know which meaning has a meaning. You know what I mean? This is very hard to tell. So you can foresee your future on yourself. I did this and it really happened. Gosh, guys, everything crashed again. Oh God, I do too many readings, and right now it's Mercury retrograde, so videos are crashing. It's normal. It's like, you know, these things happen, so we have to be prepared. Okay, so now I showed you a little bit about Kipper. So I used that tool. I learned all of the methods. I studied tarot at the best astrologer in Germany. And all the other things I learned by myself, like Lenormand and Kipper, I learned by myself. I also want to learn by myself, like, I'm going to study Korean, like Hangul. I can write already. And because of all my channels, you know, I didn't have much time in the last year, because I learned how to write last year by myself. And yeah, I also want to learn, like, you know, vocabulary and how to read and how to write, and yeah, so I want to learn that too. And there is not many Korean classes in Germany. I looked all over. If you guys know something near Karlsruhe where I live, you can write me, but I couldn't find any courses in Korean here. It's terrible. So I'm going to study it on my own so that one day I'm able to speak with our boys. Maybe then I do a Korean version of my channel. We're growing. I mean, so we can heal more people, right, Army? And don't worry, I will never forget you, you know. You are the ones that stick with me since the beginning, and whenever something happened that's really big, you guys know that I think of you. Okay, so you will be very happy if that happens, what I think it will happen. But we must see, you know. Okay, let's move on. Playing cards. Yeah, you know, playing card decks, you know. Playing cards, they also have, this is the King of Swords, you know, they also have those things that can be used as tarot. So you can use playing cards as divination tool too. Yeah, this is what I learned the last. Like when I could all the other divination tools, I learned this. But you don't need to learn. I mean, you must know what tarot is, and then you can do playing cards too. So that's the playing card thing. So another one is the Lenormand divination. You've seen that with my BTS Lenormand deck, you know, where I put these 9 cards. I used it in the cookie reading and in the box readings. You know, this is Lenormand, where you put a 9 cards in those 3 rows. And Lenormand is a card deck that was invented It comes from Madame Lenormand, which was a French, how do you say, like a French person, like a French lady. And I think she was, oh my gosh, I just put the card down. She was from some kind of famous king. Was it Louis the... No, it was in the 18th century. I think it was, yeah, it was in the 18th century. I'm not really familiar with all those history of those people, you know. But Madame Lenormand was very famous because she could, like, she predicted her own death because she said she will die when she gets surgery. So she never went to hospital. But at the end of her life, I think she broke her arm or something with 50, she was 50 or something. You guys have to look it up. I don't remember. But she was going to the hospital because they had to do surgery and she died there. So she predicted her own death when she was 20 or so. That's very sad. And she was the advisor of a very famous French king. And that's, she invented this deck, like in the 18th century, where you have 36 cards and they have all, like the tarot, they have a meaning, like the letter is the written communication and the cross is the burden, and you put them together like this and you say this is a burden communication, like this order, and in this order it can be read as communication stopped. Okay, so I learned that by myself too. I'm like Junie. I learned by doing. But yeah, and there are also different meanings. The fishes mean like deep feelings, but also money, you know, so you have to use it in the context. So I'm using these things too on my channel. If we ever done with tarot, we can learn how to read those too. You know, you can learn everything from me. I'm very open, but I cannot do it for free, guys. You know, you must understand that I'm doing so much for free. There must be an energy exchange, otherwise, like, karma would be bad. You know. So, and here then we have tarot. Now we come to tarot. This is the original Rider-Waite tarot, the famous one. You know, I have a small deck. I have these small cards. So those are the original images. Well, the images from the famous deck that was drawn in 1908 or 1911, something like that, by Pamela Coleman Smith. That was her name. She drew those things. And the Rider-Waite was the publisher, you know. So she drew those thingies. It was a woman who drew them. Very cool, I think. And that's why many readers use this original Rider-Waite tarot deck, because it's the one you always learn how to read from, you know. You don't learn how to read from like other tarot decks, but you use the, like this, you know, the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. And many readers can really good function with this deck. Like I begin, you know, when I started reading, I learned with this deck, where I get the certificate, you know, from this famous astrologer, where I learned tarot from. But before that, before I went to this course that took me over a year, I learned by myself. And I didn't use this tarot deck because I didn't, you know, those images, they were too, I don't know, too bold for me, or too like, you know. I started with this deck. I show you the vice versa tarot. This is really cool because it has images on both sides, but it's like very hard to read, you know. It's like it has an inner side, like you know, like this is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is an outer appearance and an inner version, you know. It has on two ends, two sides. And I learned how to read tarot by myself, you know, the first month where I awakened and I wanted to know, I wanted to talk to the universe. So I used decks that you could buy online, and I just bought decks, and I just, you know, started without knowing anything about the cards. And then I went, you know, because to that course, and I studied over a year because I really wanted to learn this, you know. And yeah, you know, I like those cards that are very special. Like, I like them all. I mean, I love tarot. Tarot deck consists of 78 cards. those are 78 cards, you know, those, and those are the different sizes. A tarot deck can come in the pocket size, like this size, and this is the normal tarot size, like this version, this big, you know. And that's why you all know my self-made Tarot Smeraldo deck. I'm very proud of, guys. I hope one day the boys see this. I hope, because I really put my heart and blood in this, and with this deck we healed so many army already. So this has my kiss, like my heart. And when did I do this deck? In 2018, yeah, after I completed my course, after I was officially a tarot reader, I sat down in like 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I did all these cards. And I have no idea, guys, how I did this, because, you know, I'm not that good at editing. I'm not, like, I'm a normal person. I edit for myself, like, you know, I never edited before a card. So those were the first things that I ever edited in my life, and they look beautiful, and it was like amazing. And I could feel Big Tay's, you know, now I know how Big Tay's presence feels like. In that time when I did the cards, I didn't know that Big Tay was this presence that I was feeling. I know there was a presence, and every time when I did cards, there was this presence beside me, you know. This is the Wheel of Fortune. And I wanted to express how the Wheel of Fortune is made by the universe, you know. It's the wheel that turns by the universe. And I love this when Cookie stands here and it says, "You never walk alone." And basically it means the universe is always at your side, but the universe gives you messages via feathers, and the universe, the heaven, decides what happens in your life, you know. And I wanted to express this. That's why 3/4 of this card is heaven. And the funny thing is, I want to look if I get the Magician card, the Magician reversed. The thing is, my deck, I wanted to do different, and I think it's still the first deck in the world that has reverses on extra. Like, many readers read only the upright cards, but also some readers read the reverses. That means if this card falls like out like this, it has a different meaning, and every reader reads it different. And I had my own readings on reverses, but I've thought it's stupid if the cards look like this. I don't like it. Like, you know, I don't like how this looks on the table. I don't like it. That's why usually I read it upright, the cards, especially here on my channel, because I wanted to put the cards, if they are like this, I want to put them down like this, because it just looks better. And so I thought, well, if I like it better like this, why don't I do the reversals as an extra card? And there is the 4 of Cups reversed, and I put the meaning of the reversals as, like, for the 4 of Cups reversed means taking the award, like, you know, taking what the universe gives you, accepting the award. So I took it and made an extra card. That's why this has not only 78 card my deck, but 156. And I'm very proud of it. And unfortunately, I cannot sell those because of copyright reasons, but I'm very proud. I'm very proud we have this. And yes, it's crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it that BTS came into my life and just brought out this person in me that is this creative. I never thought, like, in my whole life I could make those things, you know. That's why I always encourage you to live your dreams. I always encourage you to do, you know, what you're meant to be here on this earth for. That's my task, you know. I really want to help you guys find your vision, find your life mission, especially. And especially if many of you are twin flames, you need to come into your life mission, you know. You need to, and that's why maybe it's good for you if you guys come to my channel and learn tarot, you know, because maybe there are also some readers in some of you that have reading as a life mission. I don't know, but it's also good for you to talk with the universe yourself, you know. So what else I want to say? Oh yeah, the Magician. You know, the thing is, all these cards have different meanings, and I was stunned that, like, so many BTS cards were like the meaning you know, of course the world means an ending and having it all. Of course I could use the concert, you know, when you stand there, this means the world to our boys and to us on the concert. Or here, the Knight of Wands reversed means, you know, an F-boy, that show off. I don't mean this for our beautiful, cute Jiminy, but he looks like this, doesn't he? So I wanted to use all my pictures with BTS. So also the negative cards I had to use for, you know, with BTS pics. But I was stunned that for every pair, like this is, the Hierophant reversed is like confessing. And it's like there was a picture. And I was like, this is crazy. This is like making a break. Those pics, of course, you can find them also from other groups, but it's crazy. Like, or this here, the Eight of Swords, you know, being bound on something you cannot see and you're bound. How the heck is there a picture? You know, I was like, oh my gosh, they have all these pictures. And I was looking for the Magician reversed. The Magician reversed, or here this hobby, like drinking too much, you know. Over drinking, over indulging. This is what the Three of Cups reverse means. And I think this picture of hobby, I just, when I see it, it makes me laugh so hard, you know, because every time. And here I edited whatever. So I love this. It's like my mood just brightens when I see this. I don't know when Big Tay put me those pictures in my laptop, like to or here, this was one of the hardest cards. Like, how should I portray the death card? Because I didn't want to show, like, how should I show death with the boys on the card? And then I saw this picture, you know, in this video, in this music video of Jimin drowning. Like, you know, and I thought, oh my gosh, because death means your old self is gone and it transforming. It is, even in tarot, it has not a bad meaning, you know. Here, having an epiphany. The Hangman reversed. Beautiful picture. This is a real picture of Jiminy where the light comes down. I didn't edit it. This was like this. Or here, the Empress. The Empress means birthing something. So how should I find a picture of a boy birthing something, you know? And there was this German sentence. Man muss noch Chaos in sich haben, einen tanzenden Stern gebären zu können. And it says you have to have chaos in yourself in order to birth a dancing star. And isn't it what is the Empress is all about? I was like, wow, you know? And especially on the day where I looked for a picture of the Magician reversed. And this means like a puppet. Being a puppet on a string for someone else that uses you. And I was like, where should I... Ah, here it is. Where should I find puppet on a string? And the thing is, I wanted to do the Magician reversed, like this card. I wanted to do on the exact day this picture came out. It was like on the Idol, yeah, jacket shooting, you know. And I didn't have a pic, so I looked all over. Like, is there any picture with the boys being on strings, you know, that I can use for this card? And the funny thing is, I called my mom, and she still remembers this, and I remember this because this is one of those coincidences, one of those signs that I gotten from the universe. And it was like, get my microphone right. I was calling my mom and saying, bro, I'm looking all over for 2 hours already for a picture where the boys are on a string and I cannot find one. And I don't know, I have to look for a different one, you know, for doing the Magician on reversed. And suddenly, I remember I putting the phone down, talking with my mom, and she said, yeah, you just use any picture. I mean, it's fine if you use, you know, I can talk to my mom about this. And we're like best friends. And she said, yeah, just use any picture, you know, that's fine. Just use any pictures as long as you can complete your deck, you know, it's fine. And I was like very glad, and I put the phone down, and in this minute, the check-in shooting was uploading, and this was the pictures. And I was like, what the heck? Like, how? And then I had my picture, and I was like, big, you know, later now I know that Big T was like really working behind the scenes, working with me on this. This is crazy, guys. Those are one of those signs that I received, and it's crazy. Like, It even started already in 2018 when I didn't even know that Taeyangi was my twin flame, you know. There it already started with all the signs. So this is, I'm very proud of my deck. And I also want to use my deck in the Patreon reading, so you can see all the different cards, you know, and we use it for readings. So I can explain also the reversals to you. Okay? So then I also want to show you today, because I'm not want to talk much about tarot, but this is the first tarot deck. The first ever. That's why look at this big cards. It's called the Golden Tarot. You can buy it, you know, online. And it just came out. It's by Mary Packard. And she did a replica. This is a replica of the first ever tarot deck that was made by a painter for this family in Italy called Visconti Sforza. This was a very prominent and rich family, and they used those cards as playing cards. And they asked, like, you know, as I said before, playing cards have the same meaning. Like, this is the King of Swords, you know, this is the Knight of Cups. So they wanted to have like a deck like this, like playing cards for their usage. They want to, and with their own, like with the images of the family, the Visconti Sforza. So the painter came and just, those are people from this family, from this famous family, Visconti Sforza. So he painted them, and this tarot deck is a replica because not all the pictures, the original pictures, are restored or alive. How you say this? You know, I don't know the English meaning, but there are like the minor arcana, you know, they just know how they might have looked like. So this is not in the museum, you know. They assumed it looked like this. But the major arcana, and let's see if I find something like the major arcana. Yeah, like this is the Fool. Yeah, the major arcana, like this is the Fool, the zero card, the first card in the tarot deck. This looks like really like this, and this hangs in a museum, you know. You can go to Italy to see this, to view this as a museum. So this is the first, yeah, it is the first ever tarot deck. Like this was made in 1400 something, and this tarot deck where we all learn how to read tarot. This is the known tarot deck. The original one was drawn in 1911. You see the difference. This was made in 1400s. You know, it's crazy. Like, so what we don't know is when the real first tarot appeared. I mean, I still think this was constructed as a playing cards because they used this as playing card. I don't know if they used it as divination tools, but this in the 1900s was used as divination, yes. But you know, they even say sometimes you can read online that in history there are like Egyptians and Romans that use divination tools like tarot, but there's nothing can be found, you know, nothing is left from those times. But I know that I have a past life in Egypt with Taeyangi, and I had a vision once where I saw myself doing tarot in that time. So I don't know. You know, you cannot tell if this is real or not, but you know, when I think of all the signs I'm assuming it's real. So I also think that in this time, while, you know, in Egypt people were using divination tool, but nothing is kept, you know, nothing is still here. So this is the first tarot that's ever in a museum from the 1400s. It's very interesting. Like, we can use this, like, I want to talk about this, but I have to read more into this. I want to talk about this deck too on my channel, you know, when I do and we learn tarot. I want to talk a little bit about the Visconti Sforza deck and why it is so important for us nowadays, you know. So you see, tarot and all the other divination tools is so interesting, and I'm glad I got to know this 3 years ago, and I'm still learning. You know, you never get out of learning. You also learn how to like every deck and every card has also a new meaning with time, you know. Sometimes you experience, you know, when you draw, for example, daily cards, and you try to look what that card could have meant during your day, you see that different cards also have different meanings, and also with times they get different meanings in your everyday life. So it's really cool. It's like an ongoing learning process. You never stop once you've learned it, but it's good to know it, you know, in order to read your own tarot. I think it's really important, and I think everyone should know how to do this, because it's really cool. It's really cool. So now I want to stop here, because I talked about everything. I talked about Kipper, playing cards, Lenormand, tarot in all the different variations. Yeah. And I want to invite you to come to my Patreon, and I want to start next week. My birthday is on Monday. After that, I want to start. I want to start teaching you this stuff, and I want to do, like, I do a 1-hour video. And I want to look how many sign up for that, but I just want to start it. So I start Tuesday or Wednesday. You will see it. I upload it in Patreon, and the moment you subscribe, you don't pay, but you pay when I upload the video, you know. And then I think when you click on it, you pay by video. I think that's how it works, but we have to see. We have to figure that out, because I've never done it either. We have to figure everything out for the first time here, and I'm fine with that, you know, guys. Okay, so this is my gift for you guys. So you've seen everything, because I'm very happy about how our channel is growing, how everything is working on my channel, how everything is going crazy. I also was very happy when Taeyangi posted this pic of him and Peak Boy. Is he named Peak Boy? Yeah, Peak Boy, right? I always forget those names of the Vuga gang. The Vuga gang. Vuga clan. I love them. They're so cute together, all of them, but I always forget the names. So I was very happy when he posted this, because it has for me also meaning, you know. I started this German channel today, and yeah, I was very happy that kind of he has it in mind too, you know, even if he doesn't know anything about this whole thing, but Big Tay knows. So it's kind of cool that he posted something with Let's Start. So it's cool. I love this. I love the synchronicities of the universe. So, and with that, I want to leave this here. I hope you have fun watching this, and it gives you a lot of education, this one reading here. And if you guys are interested and you find, you know, it's not expensive, just go there. And I don't think you have to buy every video. So please support me over there at Patreon, and come there, and I will do 1-hourly readings of those things, and we will learn everything, you know. And if you're interested after tarot, we can learn Kipper, Lenormand, playing cards. We can learn everything. We can study everything here. Okay, Purple Lights, I love you. Take care of yourself. Thank you for coming on my channel. Thank you for subscribing, and I see you tomorrow in the next reading. Bye, guys.